So the longshoremen are on strike as of this morning. First thing this morning, they walked out at 1 a.m., I guess. Um, it's not really a reason to panic, but if you're a follower of this channel, odds are you stack some precious metals or are interested in precious metals, and so you kind of prepare your finances to have this, which is real money outside the system, instead of paper dollars that are always going down in value. And if you're a stacker, you enjoyed like seeing the stuff, this precious metals that you bought go up in value greatly, even over the last year. But since there's a strike, it's shut down like half of our ports, I think. But if you're a stacker of precious metals, you are kind of a bit of a prepper, so you probably have some extra food. This is ironically is not stuff that I eat. This is an expired can of clam chowder I found in the back of the pantry, and I eat carnivore, so I don't eat carbs very much. But I'm not 100% strict all the time. I don't eat top ramen, but I do like this Vietnamese soup. It's got rice noodles, really good. And if I want to cheat, I'll have that. This is some super expensive Japanese rice I bought off Amazon. We usually get I think it's 15 or 20 pound bags of basmati rice and jasmine rice. But we have like probably 4 or 5 bags. I think they're 15 or 20 pound bags of regular jasmine and basmati rice. And we always keep like 4 of them on hand. We don't do the long-term storage where we're planning on keeping it for 20 years. We just have like 4 bags, enough for like 4, 5, 6 months if there was an emergency, of just rice. And so I gotta turn this thing off here. So we'll keep a few months worth of rice on hand because the kids all eat rice, wife eats rice, and occasionally I'll have some, but we don't store it for long term. So like if we've got, let's say, 4 bags of rice, 4 of these 15-pound bags of rice, when we open one up to start using it, we'll buy another one and put it on the back of the pile. So we eat what we store, and we store what we eat every day. So this stuff, I'll still eat it. I've got a few cases of this stuff because it's super good, and, but I don't eat that stuff very often. But there's no reason to run out and panic because it's going to take a little while to hit our supply chains. But once, I think most people aren't really paying attention. But if you are paying attention and are kind of a prepper and like to not run with the crowd when everybody's running to the store for things like toilet paper during the woohoo bat flu, that was so weird. But I guess it is kind of a funny thing that preppers always joke about. You got to stack up on toilet paper. It's the first thing to go. And I've heard that for 30, 40, 50 years, that same mentality. You got to stock up on the toilet paper. Well, I've always had a good amount of toilet paper. I mean, I've got a family of 5, and if something happens, I mainly prep for me not being able to work, me not being able to bring money in to put food on the table. So I usually have a lot of stuff for the family, a lot of food, and we're actually going to go to the store probably today, just buy some more. And it's not going to be busy and slammed and panicky at the store. It's going to be nice and calm, and because I think most people don't really care or pay attention. They're going to wait until they've used their last can of clam chowder, like, okay, let's put it on the shopping list and we'll get some next week. And then when they go in, whenever they go in a couple weeks late down the road, they're like, oh, they're out of clam chowder, we'll have to get something else. And it could have impacts, but it just depends on the duration, however long it takes. I don't think it'll take too long. They say that the Biden administration can force them to go back to work through executive action, but the mafia boss, the union boss, said that yeah, you can try that, but we're going to be dragging our feet so slowly that it'd be just a complete waste of everybody's time and money. It would cost you more to force us to go back to work because we're going to be just shuffling our feet and taking extra long breaks. It would just be it wouldn't work. Wouldn't do anything. So I'll be curious to see how it works out, or how they figure out how to solve it, because eventually it's got to be solved because people have to eat, and it's a odd timing for this strike. Right after this hurricane, when things need to be distributed and moved around, and there's still relief efforts going on. Just an odd time, I think. And I'm all for, demonstrating and demanding what you're worth, but I've never been a union guy myself. I think I might have worked for a union once, and I didn't really pay attention. That was when I was young and didn't care, and I didn't show up for work anyway and got fired when I was a kid. I used to work at a plywood mill back when America used to make things. Astoria Plywood, by the way. Shout out to Astoria Plywood. They're long gone. But anyway, I would recommend just go grab some extra stuff. If you've got a shopping list and if you guys eat clam chowder, this is gross probably. But if you eat the stuff when you go to the store, instead of buying one, like maybe buy 3. If you know you're going to eat it, and if your kids eat like top ramen, if you know your kids are going to eat top ramen, they shouldn't be eating top ramen, by the way. If you know they're going to eat them and you buy enough for a week, you go to the store, you buy enough for the week, and then when you run out, you go to the store again and buy enough for the next week. Why not buy a month's worth or 2 months worth? I mean, top ramen's cheap. This is a little bit more. I think it's like $1.29, but I think what is top ramen, like 30 cents each? Why not buy like 3 months worth? The downside to buying more food than you would normally use in a week is if nothing happens, if there's no run on the groceries, if there's no problem and it's just a big nothing burger, nobody cares, you've made money. This is going up in price because of inflation. I think the canned goods in our pantry have had better returns than the S&P 500. So if you want to invest, if you're an investor and you're not buying extra, pantry staples for your family that you're going to eat anyway, you're not a very good investor because this is going to cost more next year. It's going to cost more in 6 months, probably more in a couple months. So it makes sense. You buy this stuff with the hope that it's going to go up in value so that you have the capability to buy more of this stuff. Why not just buy more of this stuff now? And that way you protect yourself. Anyway, I would recommend just maybe even talk to your neighbors and see how they're doing, and ask them if they're interested in going in on group buy on some 9mm or 5.56. See, I'm going to stock up a little bit of this because, who knows, it's super cheap right now. Ammo's pennies. Maybe ask your next door neighbors, say, hey, I'm going to buy some more ammo. You want to go in on a case or a couple cases, save on shipping? Maybe they're not aware of what's going on or paying attention to this kind of stuff. Anyway, I guess that's it. Hopefully it'll help somebody if you watch this video and you go, hey, maybe I should go to the store and have more than just a week's worth of food on hand for my family. I mean, if you're a father in a family and you're not doing that, then I don't know. It just seems like an odd thing for a father not to be prepared for taking care of their family when time's needed. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. This isn't doom and gloom. This is just a little inspiration to, make it so that you're putting yourself into a position to maybe help your neighbor. Maybe your neighbor is not paying attention, and maybe they'll need some help. It's always better to be in a position to help others than to be the one needing help.